You know what's wild? The Nazis were basically the original speed freaks. I mean, they had a pill called Pervitin that was like crystal meth on steroids, and everyone from taxi drivers to top businessmen was taking it to boost their performance. It was all part of the Aryan superiority thing. They believed it made them invincible, you know? But the real story is about Dr. Theodor Morell, Hitler's personal physician. He was a bit of a shady character, always on the make and willing to do whatever it took to get ahead. He'd been around before the war, treating athletes and royalty and whatnot, but after the Nazis took over, he joined up and started dishing out his own brand of medicine to SS elites. Now, Hitler was already a hypochondriac, so Morell saw an opportunity. He convinced the Fuhrer to take some Mutaflur capsules, which contained a strain of bacteria that supposedly made you stronger. And then there were the injections, vitamins and glucose at first, but soon it was all sorts of animal hormones and whatnot. Hitler's system got used to it, so Morell just kept cranking up the dosages until he was basically injecting him with anything he could get his hands on. It's surreal, really, reading about how these guys were basically held together by their own personal chemistry set. And at the center of it all was Morell, just wheeling and dealing and making a fortune off of Hitler's addiction. He got so rich that when the war finally ended, he had nothing left to show for it. And then there's the story about Jean-Marie Laurit, who may or may not be Hitler's son. I mean, it's all pretty wild stuff once you start digging into it. But what really gets me is how these people lived and died by their own internal chemical cocktail. It's like they were trapped in some sort of never-ending cycle of uppers and downers, and Morell was just the dealer who kept them coming back for more. You know, I always thought the Nazis were all about discipline and self-control, but when you look at Morell's medical diary, it's clear that even the top brass were basically junkies. It's a weird feeling, knowing how fragile these people were beneath their tough exteriors.